Hi everyone, Scott Lewis here for Wirefly. I'm here today to give you a full review on the Intuition by LG. First we're going to cover the specs of the Intuition, and then we'll go over the benchmark results from an Antutu and a quadrant standard benchmark. We'll take a look at some of the applications like Memo Pad, we'll look at the browser, we'll talk a little bit about the NFC tags that come in the box with the Intuition. I'll show you some still images and video recordings from the Intuition, and we'll wrap it up with a comparison to a 7-inch tablet and a 4.8-inch Samsung Galaxy S3. So let's go ahead and get started. The most prominent feature on the Intuition is its 5-inch display. It is an LCD display with screen resolution of 768 by 1024. And it gives it an overall pixel density of 256 pixels per inch. The Intuition does have a 1.3 megapixel front-facing camera, which is great for video chat. It has a dual-core 1.5 gigahertz processor, 1 gigabyte of processor RAM, and comes with 32 gigabytes of onboard storage. So it has plenty of processor power and plenty of RAM power. 32 gigabytes built in is the only storage that you have. There's not an expansion slot on the Intuition, but to put 32 gigabytes of onboard storage in perspective for you, you'd be talking about carrying thousands of songs and a couple HD movies. And with cloud services being more popular nowadays, the onboard storage isn't as important. When you touch one of the keys or you touch the display, the navigation keys light up. You have your back, home, multitasking, and then a menu function. The Intuition is running Android 4.0.4 operating system, so you can see it's very smooth with the 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor. That's plenty to power this operating system. It has 7 home screens that you can put applications and widgets on, so it's very user-friendly. Now, overall weight of the Intuition is 5.93 ounces, so it does have a pretty hefty footprint, but it is quite a large phone. The side profile is 8.55 millimeters, so not very thick for even having a very large display. The battery on the Intuition is integrated. It is a 2080 milliamp hour battery, which should give you about 15 hours of straight talk time. On the back here you'll also see the rear-facing camera. It is an 8 megapixel rear-facing camera with an LED flash, and it does record video in true high-definition 1080p. On the top here we have our 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, a quick memo button, I'll show you that in a minute. This is your charge port, micro USB charge port with a cover, your power and sleep button. On this side here we have our volume up and down rocker switch. There's nothing on the bottom except the microphone, if you can see that. And on this side you have a spot for your Verizon LTE SIM card. Let me open that for you real quick. So that's where your SIM card goes. The Intuition is using Verizon's new micro SIM card for the 4G LTE service. And you can also see that it comes with a nice stylus. Now the only bad thing is that there's not a spot to insert the stylus in the Intuition, so you're going to have to carry the stylus around if you'd like to use it. But it does have a nice little clip that you can clip it into a binder, portfolio, or on your shirt pocket. Let's go ahead and run some quick benchmarks. We'll start with the Antutu benchmark. First we'll run our advanced task killer to make sure everything is closed so that we get an optimal score. The Antutu benchmark is going to be testing the CPU, the GPU or the graphics processor, as well as the read-write speeds to the memory of the phone. So I'm going to turn the camera off now and I'll pick it up at the very end of the Antutu benchmark. So the Antutu benchmark is wrapped up. Let's go ahead and take a look at our score. We can see the Intuition has a score of 6,869. That's a pretty strong score. We can see that it has a nice CPU and GPU score as well as the RAM. The read-write speed or the input-output is 794. Let's go ahead and run the quadrant standard benchmark, and then we'll see how it compares to some other phones in the quadrant standard benchmark score. So we're going to run a full benchmark. Now the quadrant standard benchmark tests pretty much the same thing. The CPU, the memory, the input-output, and then the graphics processor. I want to show you the full benchmark and what it looks like as we run through the quadrant standard benchmark. So I'm going to go ahead and record it here for you and play it, but I'm going to show it to you at a very increased rate. That way we don't waste a lot of time. So we got our results of our quadrant standard benchmark. Let's go ahead and take a look at them. Overall, the Intuition got a score of 3,422. At the top of the list, we have the HTC One X. Next up, we have the Transformer Prime. Next up will be the Motorola Atrix 4G. And then the Samsung Galaxy Tab. So that's enough of specs and benchmarks. Let's go ahead and take a look at some different features on the Intuition. One of my favorite things is the screen capture and note-taking that you can do with the Intuition. So if you have the browser open, and you're at Yahoo and you want to share some news or information with somebody, you can go ahead and pull it up. And let's say you wanted to share who won the football game last night. Because you're a Packers fan and your friend's a Bears fan, you're going to click the quick memo button, and it's going to take a screen capture and automatically load up your memo pad, where you can circle the information you want to share, you can write something, And then with this button right here, you can go ahead and click and share it through social media, email, or even a text message. Now when we took the screen capture, we used the web. I do like the web on the Intuition. It's very nice, especially when you rotate down. It has a very nice size. You can see all the different headlines. It scrolls very nice because of the display, and the colors are really nice. I actually like the Intuition in landscape mode better than in portrait. I think it has a better feel, and it's actually easier to use. When you're going to type on the keyboard, I think it's more natural this way than it is this way. A lot of times when you're holding your phone, you want to do single hand use, and it's a little hard to get all the way over. Maybe if you had a little bit larger hands than I have, you'd be able to do that, but I think typing in landscape is easier than in portrait. Now, something interesting that comes in the box of the Intuition are NFC tags. And you get 2 of these NFC tags. They're called LG NFC tags. You can see one says that it's made for office mode and one for car mode, but they are programmable. You can see a little coil on the back here. This is coiled wire underneath the sticker that you can stick onto anything that you'd like. And essentially you program these with an application on the Intuition. Let me show you the application real quick. And it's also called LG Tag Plus. We have the NFC feature turned on the Intuition right now, so if we go ahead and actually set the Intuition on top of the tag, this one is set for car mode, so it's going to talk to us about navigation. Just remember the LG Tag Plus tags are programmable through the LG Tag Plus app. So if you would like it to launch navigation, turn your Bluetooth on to sync to your car so that you hear the navigation directions through the car speakers, you can have it turn the ringer all the way up or all the way down. They're just very interesting and very fun. I think this is a great technology, and I look forward to seeing where the NFC technology takes us. The last thing I wanted to talk to you about was the design of the Intuition. We already talked about all the different specs that it has, the camera options, the 8 megapixel, the 1.3 megapixel, the 5-inch display. Those are all part of the design. But I think one of the most important things is the camera. So let me go ahead and show you some of the still image pictures as well as the 1080p recordings that I took with the LG Intuition. So here's our still image with our LG Intuition. I think it did a very nice job of capturing all the colors. The greens are very green. The fire hydrant, the red and the white come out and they stand out. You can see some of the different colors in the leaves and the trees. And even the trees in the very far background are still in focus. Now let's take a look at a video I shot with the Intuition. This is the 8 megapixel recording LG Intuition. Color looks very nice on the display. It's a little overcast today, but the greens are coming out very green. Trees, it's very windy, so I'm interested to see how the wind rustle comes up on the LG Intuition. The phone's about 8 inches away from my mouth, but overall the colors look very nice and very true. So that was the 1080p digital recording as well as the still images that I took with the Intuition. As you can see, I have 2 other devices here with the Intuition now. We have the Samsung Galaxy S3 phone, as well as the Samsung Galaxy Tab 2, the 7-inch version. And I chose these 2 because the Intuition is kind of tablet-like, but it has all the same features that a smartphone has. So I wanted to show you the difference of watching video on a Intuition, a kind of squared-sized screen, versus a regular smartphone versus a tablet. You can see on the Galaxy S3 that it takes the video all the way to the edge. The Galaxy Tab 2 has a little bit of letterboxing, and so does the Intuition. Now the letterboxing is done to make sure that you have the proper 16:9 aspect ratio so that the videos look the same no matter what device you're watching them on. And that wraps up our full review of the Intuition by LG. If you have any questions about the Intuition by LG, make sure to leave them here on our Wirefly YouTube channel. And as always, I have some links below to check your upgrade eligibility as well as look at the price of the Intuition. My name's Scott Lewis for Wirefly. Thanks for watching.